When is Juju Watkins eligible for the WNBA draft? Juju Watkins has become one of the brightest stars in women's college basketball, but fans will have to wait a little longer before they get to see her jump to the WNBA. It didn't take long for Juju Watkins to establish herself a force to be reckoned with. In her very first game for USC, the 6'2" wing dropped 32 points on 11 of 18 from the field, adding 6 rebounds and 5 assists in a win over then No. 7 ranked Ohio State. That debut was merely a launching pad, as she scored 30 or more in 5 of her first 7 games, and finished the season averaging 27.1 points, 7.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 2.3 steals and 1.6 blocks per game. Along the way she picked up the national scoring title, multiple Freshman of the Year awards, an All-Pac-12 selection, an All-American First-Team selection, and led USC to as high as No. 3 in the AP poll, their first tournament win in 18 years, and a slot in the Final Four. As a sophomore, her per-game numbers are down slightly, but she's shown dramatic improvement in her shooting efficiency and decision-making, and USC is once again an inner-circle national championship contender. Juju Watkins is a star, but she won't be eligible for the WNBA draft until 2027. The WNBA rules state that to be eligible for the WNBA draft, a player must have graduated college or have turned 22 in the same calendar year. Because of that, Watkins won't be eligible until the 2027 WNBA draft, unless she's somehow able to graduate early. That means she'll likely have 2 more seasons after this one to chase national championships, scoring titles and potential challenge some all-time records at USC. The WNBA will look very different by the time Watkins arrives. Countless stars may have changed teams. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese will be entering their 4th seasons, and there will be at least 2 more expansion teams, Portland and Toronto, in addition to the brand new Golden State Valkyries, who begin play this season. The league will also have a new collective bargaining agreement in place, and with 15 teams, up from 12, it's possible that rules will have changed for the WNBA draft lottery. Regardless of who lands the No. 1 pick in 2027, Watkins will likely be in the mix. However, she'll be arriving with an extremely deep class that could include Michaela Williams, Madison Booker, Hannah Hidalgo, and more. USC Trojans women's basketball remain at No. 4 in latest AP poll release. The USC Trojans women's basketball team used an 18-point win versus Penn State to remain at No. 4 in the AP's latest poll release. USC superstar Juju Watkins had 22 points and 6 rebounds in the win over the Hoosiers on January 20. The AP Top 25 poll for women's basketball was released on Monday, January 20, and the USC Trojans remained at the No. 4 rank after defeating Indiana on the road. It's the 5th consecutive week where the Trojans sit as the No. 4 team in the country. USC coach Lindsey Gottlieb has the Trojans ranked behind UCLA, South Carolina, and Notre Dame, but will have multiple opportunities to potentially climb even higher in the rankings with 2 games versus the Bruins on the horizon. Where USC lies in the poll leaves the Trojans in a tricky spot in terms of upward mobility. Standing in front of USC is the undisputed No. 1 team in the country in undefeated UCLA, 18-0, a South Carolina team with a single loss to UCLA on the road at No. 2, and Notre Dame, who defeated the Trojans in a head-to-head matchup during the non-conference schedule at No. 3. In the final 5 games of the regular season for the Trojans, they will face off against UCLA 2 times, the first game being at the Gallon Center on February 13, and the second game at the Pauley Pavilion on March 1 for the season finale. Barring an unforeseen loss, if USC has any hope of moving up in the rankings, they will need to take full advantage of their crosstown rivalry games versus the Bruins. The Trojans cannot afford a slip-up and will still need to take on the middle portion of their conference schedule with trips to Iowa, Wisconsin, and Purdue sprinkled in. 5-star wide receiver recruit Ethan Feaster, leaning USC Trojans, Texas Longhorns. More. USC Trojans Lincoln Riley visits California recruits. Ryder Lyons, Brandon Arrington. More. USC Trojans Eric Musselman after Wisconsin loss. We have no home court advantage. The women of Troy were led by their superstar guard, Juju Watkins, in their win over the Hoosiers. Watkins had 22 points and 6 rebounds in the win. Remarkably, the sophomore phenom has finished with double-digit points in every game USC has played this season. By all indications, Watkins remains on track to become an All-American for the second consecutive season. However, Watkins does not remain alone in that feat. USC forward Kiki Ariafen joins Watkins and had 14 points to continue her streak of scoring in double-digits figures to begin the season. She tacked on 7 rebounds in the effort.